Solving one-step inequalities by multiplying or dividing. Today's math joke. Where do math teachers go on vacation? Times Square. Today's lesson is solving one-step inequalities by multiplying or dividing. Our Indiana academic standard is 7.3.1, and we also have a second standard of 8.3.1. When we added and subtracted inequalities, we really didn't change the inequality in any way. It just stayed the same, just like it would in an equal sign. But if you divide each side of an inequality by a positive number, you leave the inequality symbol unchanged. So 3 is less than 6. That means that 3 divided by 3 is less than 6 divided by 3. 8 is greater than 2. 8 over 2 is greater than 2 over 2. If, for algebraic, if A is less than B and C is positive, then A over C is less than B over C. If A is greater than B and C is positive, then A over C is greater than B over C. Here's where it gets tricky. If you divide each side of an inequality by a negative number, you reverse the inequality symbol. So if 6 is less than 12, when you divide both sides by -3, now 6 over -3 is greater than 12 over -3. If 16 is greater than 8, well, 16 divided by -4 is less than 8 divided by -4. Algebraically, if A is less than B and C is negative, then A over C is greater than B over C. If A is greater than B and C is negative, A over C is less than B over C. Pause the video at this time to finish copying down the notes. Don't forget, you have to have a question that you ask in class tomorrow. For the multiplication properties of inequality, if you multiply each side of an inequality by a positive number, you leave the inequality symbol unchanged. For example, on arithmetic, we have 3 is less than 4. So 3 times 5 is less than 4 times 5. Same thing with 7 and 2. If 7 is greater than 2, then 7 times 6 is greater than 2 times 6. For algebra, if A is less than B and C is positive, then AC is less than BC. If A is greater than B and C is positive, then AC is greater than BC. If you multiply each side of an inequality by a negative number, you reverse the inequality symbol. For the arithmetic examples, 6 is less than 9, so 6 times -2 would be greater than 9 times -2. If you do the math, it makes sense. -12 is greater than -18. Then we have 7 is greater than 5. 7 times -3 is less than 5 times -3. 7 times -3 is -21. 5 times -3 is -15. -15 is bigger than -21. So that helps you understand that a little better. For the algebra, if A is less than B and C is negative, then AC is greater than BC. If A is greater than B and C is negative, then AC is less than BC. Pause the video at this time to finish copying down the notes. Don't forget, you have to have a question that you ask in class tomorrow. A 1-ton truck has the ability to haul 1 ton or 2,000 pounds. At most, how many television sets can the truck carry if each TV set weighs 225 pounds? So for the verbal model, we have the number of televisions times 225 is less than or equal to 2,000 pounds. We're going to let x equal the number of televisions. So we have x times 225 is less than or equal to 2,000. Let's write it off to the side, because if you notice, the notes actually there's an error. So we're going to have 225x is less than or equal to 2,000. Divide both sides by 225. The 225 on the left-hand sides cancel each other out, and you're left with x is less than or equal to 2,000 divided by 225 is 8.8 with a bar notation. But we can't leave it that way. And we can't round up because it cannot equal 9. So in this case, we actually have to round down so that it logically makes sense. So x is less than or equal to 8. At most, the truck can carry 8 television sets. Pause the video at this time to finish copying down the notes. Don't forget, you have to have a question that you ask in class tomorrow. Example 2, multiplying to solve an inequality. We need to solve z over negative 8 is less than or equal to negative 2. Begin by writing down the problem. Z over negative 8 is less than or equal to negative 2. Remember, we're trying to get z by itself. So to undo what's happening to z, we're going to have to multiply both sides by negative 8. Remember that whenever you multiply or divide by a negative number, you must flip the sign. So the less than or equal to symbol will become a greater than or equal to symbol. The negative 8's cancel each other out on the left-hand side, so you're left with z. On the right-hand side, we have negative 2 times negative 8, which is positive 16. So z is greater than or equal to 16. Pause the video at this time to finish copying down the notes. Try 1A, B, and C on your own. When you pause the video, when you're done working, start the video again and check your work. For 1A, x is greater than 10. For 1B, 7 is greater than m. So when you think about it, m is less than 7. And for 1C, negative 4 is less than t. So t is greater than negative 4. Remember that whenever you multiply or divide by a negative number, you must flip the sign. Message me on Edmodo how you do on this quick check, including the next set of problems. Now try this set of quick check problems. Pause the video, work them out. When you're done, start the video again and see how you did. Don't forget to let me know on Edmodo by messaging me how you did. For 2A, m is greater than or equal to 8. For 2B, t is less than or equal to negative 21. Remember, when you multiply or divide by a negative, you must change the sign or the inequality. For 2C, 35 is less than r. Fix any problems that you had a mistake on. Make sure you have the notes completely taken. Don't forget to go to Edmodo, let me know how you did on the quick check, and we'll see you in class.